Hello and welcome to September's Flicks, brought to you by Picture House Cinemas. Coming up on this month's show, teenagers and death, tackled with grace and humour. The Grey Twins resurrected. Epic all-star disaster movie on a mountain. Sci-fi epic all-star disaster movie on Mars. Roger Waters revisits The Wall. And Flicks Picks, my roundup of live events and special screenings. Me and Elle and the Dying Girl was the winner of the 2015 Sundance Audience Award and the Grand Jury Prize, given simply to a film that comprises the best of both great comedy and drama.
Greg, how was your summer?
Summer? What does that word even mean? Like more, some?
Greg is a typical teenager with slightly irregular, loving parents. Nick Offerman, Parks and Recs, is wonderful as his dad. His morally sound mum makes him go and spend time with Rachel, who has leukemia. Neither teen is that enamoured with the other at first, but unwittingly, Greg, who has declared he befriends no one on account of it leaving you horrifyingly vulnerable, begins to care about Rachel, having decided to make her a film with his not best friend but co-worker Earl.
That's it!
That was good.
So if this was a touching romantic story, then suddenly we would be making out with the fire of 1,000 suns. But this isn't a touching romantic story. Anyway.
Yep.
The film is, as it says, about a dying girl, but is really about living, friendship, creativity, connection, and is filled with great characters, beautiful ideas, superb script, and true joy. Please don't be put off by the D word.
You have to understand what it does when someone touches your life. It knocks you flat out.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So you love this girl? What?
You're a good friend. No one has done more to make me smile. And no one ever could.
You guys gonna be getting busy on my new Tuscan leather, huh?
No, I think...
What's that?
No, we're not.
What?
Tom Hardy likes to set himself a challenge.
London in the 1960s. Everyone had a story about the craze.
I come here for a proper shootout. What do you do with that? Rolling pin. You gonna bake me a cake? Rich, you won't mind if I fight back, will you?
From carrying an entire film set in a car with just him in Locke, to Legend, where he plays both Ronnie and Reggie Cray.
You must be Francis. Do you think we look alike?
As with Locke, it's almost worth seeing for the sheer cinematic feat of pulling off such an audacious stunt alone. Hardy says it's the hardest thing he's ever done. Oscar-winning screenwriter and director Brian Helgeland presents us with a classic crime thriller based on the true story of these notorious brothers that explores the relationship that bound them through their gruesome history. The film particularly focuses on Reggie, who seemed to try to temper his brother's more psychotic tendencies. Emily Browning, David Tulis and Christopher Eccleston also star.
Listen to yourself, Ron. You're nuts. Blood is thicker than water. You hit me. You're not afraid of anything. Well, only myself, you know. And you.
Everest stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Jason Clarke as respective expedition leaders Scott Fisher and Rob Hall, caught up in the real-life 1996 disaster which left 8 people dead following a blizzard. The film is based on Into the Wild journalist and writer Jon Krakauer's highly acclaimed account of the event, Into Thin Air, royalties from which go to the Everest 96 Memorial Fund, which he founded as a tribute to his deceased climbing partners. It's a nail-biting, extraordinarily shot 3D thriller adventure drama portraying people at the emotional extremes of their lives.
We got people stranded up there and storm is getting worse.
We got a problem. We're out of gas, Doug.
Just go.
No, I'm not leaving you behind. Come on.
Oh, damn.
Can you hear me? Rob? You
You've got to get moving.
If anyone can make it, you can.
I love you.
The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Matt Damon as an astronaut who gets left for dead by his crew on Mars.
At around 4:30 a.m., our satellites detected a storm approaching the Ares 3 mission site on Mars. The storm had escalated to severe, and we had no choice but to abort the mission. But during the evacuation, astronaut Mark Watney was killed.
He has to use all his science knowledge to work with what little he has on the dead red planet to survive and ultimately make contact with Earth and his ship. Then the drama really begins as to whether they go back and save him. NASA says no, so on top of the fact that it's a mission no one may survive, let alone recover their man, it's also mutiny. Ridley Scott in space and Matt Damon doing very tricky maths sounds like the making of an epic. Plus, a stellar cast including Kristen Wiig, Jessica Chastain, Jeff Daniels and Chiwetel Ejiofor.
It's space. It doesn't cooperate. I guarantee you that at some point, everything's going to go south on you. And you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end.
Is it possible that he's still alive?
Described as a music film event, Roger Waters' The Wall is a highly anticipated release, fusing live concert footage with a road movie of Waters delving into his past and the events that led to his writing the album, plus Waters and fellow founding Pink Floyd member drummer Nick Mason discuss what is billed as the simple facts. Fans from around the world get to ask the questions that will be unscripted in their replies. A must-see for any Floyd fan, but this is also an anti-war event which highlights the generation-spanning aftermath of war and the true human cost.
There is no pain you are receiving.
Human memory is a fallible device. This is what we have to learn and to act upon.
I don't need no arms around me.
I used to have this dream. I don't have to have that dream anymore.
And now Fix Picks, my roundup of live events and special screenings. On Thursday the 3rd, from the National Theatre, Simon Godwin directs George Farquhar's wild comedy of love and cash, The Beau Stratagem. The Beau refers to the leading characters Mr. Aimwell and Mr. Archer, two charming dissolute young men who have blown their fortunes in giddy London. Shamed and debt-ridden, they flee to provincial Lichfield. Their stratagem, to marry for money. On Wednesday the 9th, a special screening of the compelling new documentary How to Change the World, followed by a Q&A with a panel of invited guests. In 1971, a brave group of young activists set sail from Vancouver in an old fishing boat. Their mission, to stop Nixon's atomic bomb tests destroying a tiny island off the west coast of Alaska. It was from these humble but courageous beginnings that the global organisation that we now know as Greenpeace was born. On Thursday the 17th, come and join Richard O'Brien and some very special guests for The Rocky Horror Show, live for one night only. Still the world's favourite rock and roll musical 40 years on. It's hailed by critics and adored by fans around the world. For this exclusive event, O'Brien returns to the cast for the first time in more than 20 years. On Tuesday the 22nd, Kenneth Macmillan's famous and groundbreaking ballet Romeo and Juliet, set to Prokofiev's magnificent score, returns to open the new season from the Royal Opera House. a rich production in both swaggering colour and complex emotions. After half a century, Macmillan's production continues to resonate with adoring audiences. And now to highlight an excellent initiative called Our Screen. It's a brilliant way for up-and-coming filmmakers to get their movies on the big screen, as the event is only confirmed after a certain number of tickets are sold. One example is the sci-fi thriller Containment, which has a confirmed screening at the Harbour Lights in Southampton on Monday the 14th of September. However, the Dukes at Comedia screening in Brighton on Monday the 21st needs to sell only 28 more tickets to secure the slot. Check out the website and join this truly democratic approach to cinema. That's it for September. My, how the year is flying by. Remember, you can find out about these screenings and all the other events at picturehouses.co.uk. Keep up to date by following us on our Twitter and Facebook feeds, and get more in-depth information in our free printed and digital publication that Picture House recommends. Thanks for watching, and see you again in October.